we loved seeing your balloons from yesterday. Wow, the designs were incredible. So it's Wednesday, and today we've got a really special midweek treat for you to get you over that hump day. And today we are going to be doing a gorgeous little turtle from the Finding Nemo films. And if you really fancy doing something else, you can go and do the junior one as well, which is Dory from the same set of films. So it's a lovely underwater sea theme. Just relax and enjoy some drawing with us. So I'm going to do turtle today, turtle from Finding Nemo, and I want you to start with 4 basic shapes on this first one. Think about the size. Now these first shapes that go in, that is the foundation on which your drawing is built. So it's really worth taking your time to get these first few shapes right. It really makes a huge difference to the finished drawing. So many people spend time just on the details like the eyes, but if the head's the wrong shape, it doesn't matter how great the eyes are. So we want to really think about it. Now that's the first shape. The second shape, I want you to think about the shape within. Look at that there. It's like a curved triangle. Think about how big it was. Went about halfway down and a little bit up and coming out. And take that to a point there. If you go to the bottom here, and again, just a little bit up. And we're going to join that. This is going to be the top of the turtle's shell, sorry. Not shed. There we go, we've got that shape. Now underneath, I want you to join by thinking here. So again, just about halfway, and bring it down like that. If we go underneath, from that point, go underneath slightly, and we want to take it out here. And here. So that is our first 4 shapes. So think about the size and pause it and get those down on your paper. Right, so we're going to now start here. We're going to put 2 marks in, which we're going to take down here. This is going to start to separate out the face. So 1, 2, nice and smooth. You don't need to go all the way to the end. And then we're going to put in these eyes, these lovely round eyes. And I want them to, think about that shape there, between there. I want them to come right out and over. So keeping these pencil marks really light. We've got our big circle there. The same on the other side. Nice big circle. You should be able to quickly rub that out there. I'm using a 2B pencil, and we use 2Bs all the time at Little Art School. It's a great one for drawing those first shapes, and it's not too dark. I'm actually going to bring that in slightly there as well. There we go. So that's on the head. Now if we come to the shell here, let's take that up there, and what were just this one solid shape. We're now just going to adjust it slightly, and when you pause it on the drawing guide, it will really show you that how we're going to just change that smooth line here, and then up here bring it in slightly so it becomes less of a semicircle and more of a shell shape. Once you've got your basic one in, you just take those very first guiding lines out. And now the shell shape, you can make your own, so don't worry too much about following this. You just want a nice little division of it so it looks like a shell. Here, where you've got that smooth line, I want you to think about making it just a bit more sophisticated. 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to put in the legs here. So we want one coming out like that. Think about the size relative to it. We don't want it going all the way over there, but we do want it to go to about there. So we're going to take it up. It'll feel really big, but that is the size we want. And then here, just going to take it out from there that's the second stage. So if you pause, do that bit. Right, we're going to start with these little bits around the eye. So just watch for a minute or two, and then you can pause it and you'll be able to do this yourself. So we'll just take that around there and rub where we made the circle out for the head. That's it. And the same on this side here. So just take that out. And we've got that bit in there. And the same down here. Inside the eyes, that'll start to make a bit more sense once the pupils go in. So we've got one there. We've got one there. And his nice, cheery smile. So can you see he's just suddenly starting to come to life. We take it round there. Now on his chin here, where we've just got that circle of a line, I want to come in 1, 2, 3. So you're changing a lot of your little lines around here, and then coming in, sticking the pattern in there that he's got. 2. So we've already got this bit in, we've already got the shell in, just popping a few little shapes here, really random, whatever you want to have. And exactly the same on the tail. So it really is this bit, very much focusing on that bit of the face, and just pause it on your laptop, on your TV, on your phone, however you're doing it, pause it and see if you can go in a little bit and just work on these bits here. Okay, so if you pause it now, and when I'm going to paint it, if you've not got any paints, get out your felt tips, get out your crayons, whatever you've got, and make it colourful. You could fill this in with an array of sea creatures, and make sure you send it to us because I really want to see. But if you want to see what we're going to do with paint, just hang on and watch the next one. Okay, so we're going to do a watercolour wash behind this one, and because the reason I can do that is because I've got this watercolour paper down, so I'm just going to squeeze out like that. I'm going to do 2 colours here, so 2 bits in my water. Don't forget, you don't need that pipette, you can just do it with a bit of it with your brush. I'm going to do 2 here. I'm going to do 1 in an ultramarine blue, which is this blue here. Let's pop that one in. Doesn't really, I've got, these are my Winsor & Newton paints, but really just use whatever you can get hold of at the moment. We're not all popping out to art shops right now. And I'm going to use a green as well. So with this, I'll go here for this sap green, which is quite a nice green, and I might add a bit of blue in there too, because what I want is a sort of greeny blue, a sea blue essentially. So these are the 2 washes that I'm going to use, and then I'll just put a bit of blue in there as well. So can you see I've got a kind of bluey green and I've got a blue. Right, next, just like we did yesterday with the balloons, I'm going to put an invisible force field here around my little turtle using the water. So that just really stops your wash going onto your painting. If it does go onto the painting, to be honest, it's really not a big deal, because with this kind of paper, you can easily mop it up using your artist's best friend, otherwise known as kitchen roll. So I'm just going out, I'm not going all the way to the edge there, I'm just going a little bit round. And then I want to create this effect of sort of sea, like a lovely sea effect. So there's my paper, a little bit wet, but not too wet. Let's take that away. And I'm going to, because I'm going to use green in here, so these bits, I'm doing a very lovely little blue. Can you see how it's going to the edges, but it's not going beyond there? I'll do that here as well. It always dries lighter, watercolour, always. So this will give me such a lovely, subtle background to him, which I will is what I'm aiming for, just something very subtle so that he really jumps out from it. Now I'm going to take my green. Look, can you see here, as soon as I touch this green wash to the blue, it's going in together, which is the effect that I want. Now what I'm going to do is go like this. I'm going to put a bit more blue in towards the edge as well. I want them just to mix. And then right at the edge, back in with the blue. So can you see that's giving us a really subtle, that will dry slightly lighter, so really subtle, but very simple background wash, and that is where watercolour comes into its own. Okay, so it's dried nicely. It took a little while because there was lots of water in it, but it's a really lovely subtle background wash we've got here. And now I'm going to go in with some quite heavy yellow. I'm just putting little bits in the middle. This is on his gorgeous shell. And I'm going to take this burnt sienna here, which burnt sienna is a kind of, it's a sort of reddish brown. It's a lovely colour. Okay, and I'm going to go over like that because I want it quite strong, but then I'm going to really strongly go over the shell lines. As you can probably starting to become a bit more familiar with these watercolour pencils and how they work, and that by doing that, what it'll give me is it'll keep the lines, but it'll also turn it all to paint as well. So I just take a brush very quickly, and I'll turn the yellow bits first so that keeps them. Then just clean my brush slightly, and then we'll take that out. There we go, we've got that lovely shell there, that lovely turtle shell. And whilst that's drying, I'm going to use the green now. I'm going to go quite lightly with the green, and I'm not going to do an edge with it. I'm just going to go round the shapes here. So not putting a huge amount of paint on here. And there, I'm just going to use a bit of green and a bit of green at the edge here. And what I'm going to do here is pop in a little bit of brown too. Not much, just a bit to change it around here. And you'll see what happens when I put the water on here, how it all begins to just wash in together. Now here underneath, I'm going to put slightly more brown, so it's a bit more shadowed. As I come into his face, again, I'm going to go green behind the marks, avoiding his eyes completely. And just bits of green. Oh, didn't mean to go on his eye there. I'll see if I can take that up later. I have to go round. I'm not going to colour in the little spots. I'm going to wait till the green's dry and do that. So what I'm going to do is take my brush and quickly turn all that to paint. So I'll just show you one here. But you can see, can you see how the brown and the green is going in together? And the same here, look at that. So you get this kind of lovely greeny brown turtle colour, which would be very difficult to try and get a pencil of that colour. There we go. Now, I'm going to just speed up, which is not something that we've used before, so you've got to bear with me, Elizabeth. We are very new to this whole YouTube filmmaking, so we're now going to do a little bit speeded up. Okay, so we're just going to put in the final details here, and that is our little marks here. You don't need to turn those to paint, you can just colour those in. Because the paper's slightly damp underneath from the green, it's already going on pretty nicely as paint. So all the brown bits, and then we're going to do the eye. So around here. And here it looks a bit odd at the moment because there's no pupil in. I'm just going to put in these bits here. And then I'll use the black for the pupil. Leave a little highlight if you want to. Now you can either leave that unturned to paint, or you can just, I'm going to just use my brush really quickly just because I like the smoothness of it when it's into paint like that. What I'm not doing is letting my brown touch my black, because then they'll just go into each other. Now you can at this point then take your black watercolour pencil or your brown watercolour pencil and use it to go around. What I'm actually going to do is do it with my fine liner. So I'm going to do this nice and slowly, and I'm going to speed it up for you as long as Elizabeth and I have worked out how to do that. So we will see you tomorrow when we're going to do a really beautiful spring painting, which I hope everybody will love. But I hope you really enjoyed your turtles and your under the sea picture today, and you can fill that background with whatever you want to make it seem lovely and under the sea. Really hope that you love doing that, and I cannot wait to see what you've done. So please go to our Facebook page, go to the comments and get mum or dad or someone to send us a picture of your painting or you holding your painting. Tell us how old you are and tell us what you really loved about it. And if you can think of any ideas of other things you might like to do, we would love to hear. So we will see you tomorrow when we're going to do a really beautiful spring snowdrop. So see you then.